Hello my viewer, welcome to my channel. This being the 2nd of July, year 2022. Today is a unique day, and I want to thank God that He has sustained me and He has continued to safeguard me, to protect me, and this far I've come. I can really say it is the Lord. It is the doing of the Lord, and I'm delighted for what He has done in my life. July is a very significant month in my life, and the month of July, number 7, is very significant to God or in God. Number 7 means wholeness, fulfillment, accomplishment, achievement, and it means so much as far as God is concerned. And He used number 7 in several episodes, and it signified, or it symbolizes achievement or accomplishment of many things. And in my case, I want to say that July is a special month to me, and today I want to speak on a topic that it's a bit emotional, but it's the reality of life, whereby I want to speak about the journey that I have walked after losing my only son in the month of July. And before I talk about the journey, let me say that the same month of July, the year 1999, God blessed me in the month of July 27th with a bouncing baby boy. I was very happy to have a son, being the second born in our family with my husband. And this was the beginning of a journey of a mother with a son. And it started very well, and it continued very well. And this son grew and grew very well, just like any other child. And at his childhood, it's not much that happened that I can really talk about as far as being unhealthy is concerned. Apart from the normal fevers, the normal malaria, homa, he just grew up as a normal child. And being the second born. Firstborn was a daughter, and now we had a son. And the family was full of joy, and the baby grew. It's only at the age of 5 that something happened that really traumatized me. When he was the age of 5, I didn't have a house help at some time, and I was working far from home, and he used to come home before me because the school that he was schooling was in the estate. And was in the estate. So he used to arrive home before me, and he used to go to my neighbors, my next neighbor. There was no fence between my neighbor. So he used to stay there until I come, and then I would pick him because there was a boy whom they were praying with, and I was comfortable. I didn't have a problem. But one time, when they were praying, because you know boys with balls, when they were praying outside, my neighbor had a borehole, and that borehole was covered with mabati. And it happened that when my son was praying with the ball went over the top of the borehole, And my son went to pick the ball, and he stepped on the mabati, and he fell down with the mabati into this borehole. I almost lost my son. But I thank God that good neighborhood angels from above, because I call them angels, saved my son from that borehole. It's a long story, maybe for another day, but I want to say that is the only traumatizing thing that happened in the entire life of my son that I can really tell. But God saved the situation. He didn't die. He was saved, and the situation was saved. It is a long story, but I want to say that God saved the situation, and my son never died at that time. He grew up like any other son, like any other boy, and the only condition he had when he was young, allowed that age of 5, he had a skin condition whereby he used to itch so much, so he kept on scratching himself. That is the only thing that he had in his life. He has never been hospitalized at all his life, and that was my son. And my son, when he was young, or when he was a young boy, he was a handsome baby boy. This was my son at the age of 5 months. People kept or made fun, saying that he looked like a girl, and plenty he was. My son was very handsome and very healthy. He grew up very well, and I thank God for my son. And this son, it was until last year, January, and last year, January, that he started having issues with his health. But previously, before January, my son, by the name Peter Kevin, we used to call him PK, had turned, or his eyes had turned yellow. They were not very yellow, but with the time, the eyes turned yellow, at a point that I was very concerned, and I told him that his eyes are changing color each and every now and then. That was around December last year, but one. And we had no idea what that was, and I thought it was something related to the problem that he had with his skin condition. So we went from one dermatologist to another, looking for solution, and we had medication, and we thought the condition would stop. Until this January, that I kept on telling him that I am not happy and I'm not satisfied to see the way he is. And of course, he was not comfortable, but he never, because he was not feeling any pain, he never bothered so much. But my son PK was in college in his second year, and that time in January, he was doing his exams. So we agreed that after he is through with his exams, he will go to hospital and then he will be examined. And that's what happened. When he went to the hospital, some tests were done, some examinations were done, and he was told that he needs some medication. That time I was not with him, because I work away from home. And where he went to the hospital, after he was told what he was told, he came and told me, or I went home and he told me what he was told. And since I was working in a healthy facility, I thought it was wise to seek for second opinion, and I took him to the hospital, and he was to be examined. He went for several lab tests, and he was admitted there and then. And then investigation started to be done, And when the doctors were trying to find out what this problem was, at some some point, they told me that my son is suffering from a liver problem, and that really astonished me. All it marveled me. I mean, I was not prepared for such a thing. Um, okay, of course, it was very overwhelming for me, but I had hopes and faith in God that it was something that was manageable and it was to be treated. And therefore, I started having hopes and working with the doctors, looking for solution. And I thought this was something that was going to work. The journey was long. I may not talk about what happened each and every moment, but this journey started in the month of February, March, April, and in the month of May, things changed. And the doctor said that since the problem was moving from worst to worst, they needed to do a biopsy so that they could see what was eating his liver. And I may not use medical terms, even if I work in a healthy facility, to make the story shorter and in a way that we can all understand. And by that time, I was very worried. I was very nervous. And also the members of the family were very concerned because they had no idea what this was. In my family or in our family, we have never had any case of